So Coach Prime kind of weighed in on Shedeur's Heisman kind of race here. One of the Colorado influencers posted Shedeur Sanders should be a part of all Heisman talks right now. Posted some stats saying he leads college football in completions. He's top 4 in completion percentage, top 5 in passing yards, top 5 in passing touchdowns. He has 4 games of 300-plus yards, and Colorado is 5-2. And 3 out of those 5 stats obviously leads the Big 12. And Coach Prime kind of tweeted this and said, "My man, he's a Sanders. That's right there. That right there applies you for hate. He's built for it, though. Keep the song playing." Matt, I want you to break down why you believe Shedeur Sanders should be a Heisman candidate and win it, and also talk about Shedeur potentially being the number 1 pick in the NFL draft. But let's start with this, Coach Prime's response in the Heisman talk for Shedeur.
Look, I think Shedeur should be a Heisman candidate. I've been saying this all year that at some point during the season, Shedeur and Travis are going to be competing to win a Big 12 title while they're competing against each other for the Heisman. Mm-hmm. So every time Shedeur throws Travis a touchdown, it helps Travis and it helps Shedeur. And who does it help more? I wouldn't look if they finish 10-2, and I understand that BYU and Iowa State are undefeated. Who does BYU play this weekend? Or just bring up BYU and Iowa State's remaining schedules. Because I think that if CU takes care of Cincinnati, I think it's a 4-horse race for the title. I think it's Colorado, Kansas State, BYU, and Iowa State. So
let's start with BYU.
All wrap back in. So BYU plays who?
BYU takes on UCF on the road this weekend
in Florida. That's a fucking tricky game, bro. Don't act like it's not.
Then they have an interesting schedule here, Big Matt. Then they go to Utah.
Also a rivalry game in Salt Lake or in Provo.
That's at Utah.
So they've got back-to-back road games against UCF, and remember, Gus Malzahn's a program builder, and Utah, who is a hated rival, and that's the first time they're playing in the Big 12 against each other.
Yes, sir. And then they got Kansas at home after that. Then they go to Arizona State and Kenny Dillingham's Arizona State.
I think BYU is going to win or is going to lose one of those 3, okay, or one of those 4. So they finish with 1 loss. Iowa State.
All right, give me 1 sec. Okay, so Iowa State has Texas Tech. Well, they're on a bye this week, so they have Texas Tech on November 2nd.
In Ames?
In Iowa State. Then they go to Kansas, wherever Kansas is playing at.
Arrowhead.
Then they are at home versus Cincinnati.
And then they have Kansas State, the last game of the season.
No, they had 2 Utah.
They have to play they got 5 games left.
Yes, because
so they have to go play Utah also, who's a prideful program. I know they're out of the race, but don't act like they can't beat anybody. And then they've got Kansas State at the end of the season. Huh?
Yes, and BYU's last game, they played Houston. So
they won that game. Yeah. So look, I don't think Iowa State could beat Kansas State. So CU could essentially finish 10-2 and either be an at-large top 12 ranked team in the playoff or play for the Big 12 title. Either way, they're getting in the playoff if they finish out 10-2. If they finish out 10-2 or they get to the Big 12 title and win and or lose and finish 10-3, I still think they're in. If that happens, I think Shedeur and Travis are both in New York for the Heisman. I don't know who's going to win it at that point. I don't fucking know, dog. But have 2 teammates ever been at the Heisman together? Have teammates ever fucking been at the Heisman together? Like, I think were Reggie Bush and Matt Leinart both Heisman?
I was going to say Leinart, Reggie Bush. Yeah,
I think that might be the only time. So
anymore? That's the first one that comes out to my head.
I think that I'm not trying to be a homer. I am a homer. I think Shedeur's the best player at his position in the fucking country. I think Travis is the best player in the country, and the team around them is matching both of them. And, bro, it's just a matter of time. Yeah, okay, Dede Westbrook and Baker Mayfield, they were both Heisman contestants or Heisman contenders. That's pretty cool. So it's happened before. We'll see if it happens again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is gonna be interesting. I will say we're gonna see how they use Travis Hunter this weekend. That'll kind of dictate a lot, to be honest with you, because I think another game where Travis doesn't play may harm his Heisman race. I think Shedeur, I mean, he's remained steady on his play throughout the season.
If Travis didn't play this weekend and then had a bye, I think it would cool off.
Yeah, I agree. That's why we'll see how
he is playing this weekend, and he's going to be pissed off and healthy, and that's bad for everyone else.
Yeah, can't wait to see it. But yeah, Coach Brian weighed in. He says he's a Sanders, so that applies for all the hate. So just something to think about. Shedeur is balling right now. He'll definitely be, if Colorado keeps winning, Shedeur will definitely be in that Heisman conversation for sure.